right here, that little tiny peak, that's the 1850 part of the building. 1883, there. And then this is 1906 here. And there were buildings all the way up and just a small driveway down. The buildings are over here. They never cleaned up the river. See? All the rebar and debris. There's the cap right there. It goes up 3 feet and then there's 2 feet of flashboards. Mm-hmm. Without that on there never would have been a flood.
Is there any thoughts of selling it to a salvage facility? Or?
Yeah, that would probably net me $50,000. Mm-hmm. But I still have hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines to pay. And we're having this here now, which is just ridiculous. This was my office.
Well, so you really haven't touched anything, huh?
You know, we were advised not to.
Mm-hmm.
Poured that right angle of cement out there in the corner of the dam. We're still leery from that day that's with the extra, height of the reservoir. Well, the reason they raised it 2 feet is because they put a hydro plant in there with 3 turbines, and they needed the head pressure on the top of those turbines to produce power to make it feasible for them to run those turbines. That's why the reservoir was brought up the extra 2 feet.
My memories of the mill are mostly when I was young. That was a long time ago. My friends and families worked in the paper business here. It was great for the economy of the town, and we miss it now. As it is now, the industry in the town is gone. There's practically no industry in our town anymore. This mill here was the last one, I guess, that stayed, and we're grateful to Gary for having kept it going as long as he did, making employment for people. And this is what we miss in this town now, is employment. Well, all over the country, for that matter.
I've experienced it all. It's all gone. I mean, it's hard for me to articulate all this, like the people that are in this town, the working people. I'm not trying to classify them, but they're not, they're not highly educated. They're hardworking people, and their skills are, in manufacturing. Now, where they put the skills to work, they're going to work in, at Walmart or McDonald's, or that doesn't meet their skill level. They're used to getting their hands dirty. They know how to turn wrenches or do problem solving on machines, or to keep them running and put out the quota per day. That's pretty much how they grew up, and their fathers grew up, and grandfathers, and such as like Gary and I did. My father worked in a paper mill for years, and it's no longer happens.
Most Americans are immigrants. We were immigrants too. My grandmother was the most recent immigrant in our family, and she was from Ireland. She remembered the hostility and the prejudice that she saw as a child. But in this community, it was different. Everyone was an immigrant. My mother's mother was a Hungarian gypsy. Everyone had an approach to going forward and bringing people with them. They always worked with people. And in school, when I was in high school in Hinsdale, I learned how to work with people and with teams and to get the best out of them. And that continues. Those are skills that you can always transfer.
What's going to replace what we've lost? I mean, we know that we need to start manufacturing our own goods again. How does this happen?
Everyone seems to overlook the thing that we all learned in high school, called the law of supply and demand. You have a television, I have a television, you have a computer, you have an automobile, you have a refrigerator. Today, everybody has everything. I say everybody, you know, a large percentage of the population, they have everything, so the factories don't have to produce these things anymore because people aren't buying them. I don't have the answer. Don't look at me for an answer.
In Chinese, crisis is danger and opportunity. I've been through danger. I know danger. I think now it's the opportunity time. Fortunately, there's a possibility of a cleanup of the site that wasn't really bad to start with, but after it stopped being used as a mill, it had problems, and those are being addressed now. Once that is done, then we have 75,000 square feet of opportunity. What that opportunity is going to be isn't exactly clear just yet, but it might be housing. It might be a facility for Pisgah Park. Right across in back of me is 13,000 acres of New Hampshire's wildest park. That's a tourist destination. Maybe that's what we're going to be. Where the railroad tracks were is now a rail system of 1,000 miles in New Hampshire. Maybe that's something that will be brought into it as well. Everything can happen if you really want it to, but we're still in the midst of it. The litigation continues, and so do the fines that I have by the state of New Hampshire, and other agencies have jumped in as well. So all those things have to be finalized before there really can be a renewal here.
What can I say? We missed the paper mill. We'd love to see something going again on it.
Just not sure if you wanted to, if there were.
I want to take a high ground on everything.
Yeah. Right.
Do I want to say all their linen's out and it's dirty? We have a tradition here in our family of cleaning things up. We'll help them clean up their image.